Welcome back to some of the most unreasonable real-time strategy gameplay. 80 commanders loading in to the Raptor crater, but instead of Raptors, 4 teams of 20 commanders apiece. An absolutely ridiculous amount of players in this total Annihilation-inspired beyond all reason battle. But hopefully, just like the amount of players in the game, we can get an unreasonably high amount of likes. And maybe even subscribes. If you want to see more, help me counter the algorithm. And Jimmy, quickly, what are we... 400 likes on this video, on this cast, and I'll cast another one. And while we're still putting on spectacles like this, I'll probably do it anyways. But let me introduce as best I can. Hopefully you've had a good day so far. And hopefully it's about to get just a little bit better. Already kind of contemplating the magnitude of the task of trying to keep up with any percentage of this. You can see the income in the top right corner. In order to win a match, very simply, you must be the last team with a commander. So, I believe the experimental third faction Legion is enabled. I believe there are some modifications to the amount of resources, so that way most players will have a chance to actually build anything. But otherwise, you're limited to 400 units apiece, which... oh yeah, some Legion goblins coming in to start things off. 400 units apiece, which for any other RTS game would be madness. 400 Zerglings is 200 supply in StarCraft 2. But 400 Juggernauts is exactly the same here in Beyond All Reason, though buildings technically do count as units. I am going to turn down the ping noise for my own sanity, as amusing as the ping dynasty is. The first battle. So, from the generic perspective, in the bottom left corner, we have the blue team, the southwestern. In the bottom right, we have the red. In the top right, we have green. And in the top left is yellow. The top players on each team by rank are pro autopilot. We've seen some in 1v1. For the yellow team, we've got Rajiki. For the blue team, Trilos for the red team, and last but not least, Random Variable for the green. We're looking at his camera, not his commander. Clearly, directing things. But the first battles start out to the south. Inside versus 33745. Battling it out. Is that a Legion? Cacophony. I think they may have enabled just extra units and defenses, like they were showing off during this Beyond All Reason 40,000 members of Discord event. So, 40v40 in a lot of the matches. Or in this case, 20-20-20, but I'm not complaining about the variety. So, still some battles over the center. It's hard to tell. In anything that isn't just a 1v1 or one team versus one team, very hard to tell what the best option is. Do you just lay low and try not to draw attention and swoop in? Or do you try to grab some more advantage early, wipe out the territory of one of the teams, and take advantage of that, and maybe use that to crowd out the rest? I don't think there's going to be anything resembling a coherent strategy, but maybe a game plan in general. We have one commander down. 20 commanders still for the red team. 57 remain. That's also going to be confusing. Anyways. Oh, the little goblins right on top of another commander. The yellow team trying to fight back. But in the hills, all the tier 1 units brawling it out. Another commander coming up. Both of them firing off some D-guns as well. The Centurion. The anti-swarm bot just blasting its way through. Incredibly effective against this. And the commanders are both repairing it simultaneously. Down goes the production, though. The Centurion, how many kills on that thing? It's got 10 of them so far, adding a lot of damage. Teriyaki at 12%. Still brawling. Seems some players are coordinating their economy on the back line. That Centurion is the only thing standing between the commanders and disaster. Dad, the speedrunner, against Zombie Mad. D-gun hits another. The flanking damage, the goblins getting dangerously close, but they're patting each other on the back, or less generously, circle jerking the repair. Meanwhile, Speedrunner eats pretty much all the rockets from Zombie. Taking a look at the state of things, autopilot being contested by Rizika. Just the commander itself, some rockets as well. Pre-Goshen. There's some energy crystals with metal to consume, so very valuable. The green team... Okay, wait. Is Sirius... Sirius is on the yellow team. That's more of a yellow-green than a green-yellow. It's different. The fact that we have 80 colors to describe all this is already kind of crazy. And speaking of, this is definitely the green team making their way up the ramp into the crater. Plenty of pings coming out. I'm going to turn them down even more. Okay, chat message and map mark ping at minimal levels because I'm losing my sanity. Red team sneaking in with some of the ticks. So far, looks like most players are still on tier 1. I know many of the backline players are working for tier 2. But the battle has been won. The yellow team makes their way down the western front and pushes blue back. Several commanders taken out. At least one we see. The crater indicating its death. Is this the hero? 19 kills. Triple veterancy. Means plus 54% health. Wow, that's actually pretty significant. So units in the game do gain veterancy. Experience from doing damage, not necessarily kills, which I think is a good balance. Usually it's like HP. Occasionally it's things like range and damage. But on a unit like the Centurion, HP is certainly helpful. But the yellow team sneaking by more goblins, getting chased by grunts and blitzes. Should eventually be taken out, but the yellow team seems to be making a lot of progress. Looking at the overall income in the top right, the metal income for the red team seems to be at an advantage. For the most part, they've looked pretty quiet. They've held their ground, except for somewhat down the center, but even then, it's hard to draw the lines. The yellow team has clearly made progress along the western front. There's some air coming out. Looks like hot potato in the back corner. Meanwhile, a little bit of domestic strife between the players. That's a Legion bot lab as well. I look forward to doing some casts with Legion and maybe a smaller setting where we could enjoy some of the very cool and relatively unique units compared to Armada and Cortex. Tier 2 being handed out. And so far, well, yellow versus blue on the western flank seems to be the hottest corner of the map. Meanwhile, the red team has made some progress in the inner crater against green overall. A phalanx of rocket bots will make their way forward. Rocketeers, sorry. Artillery shelling on either side. Vehicle and static emplacements. Looks like the red team will break through and is starting to solidify their position overall. Feels like the red team, it's hard to tell the exact progress, especially since the green and yellow teams are a bit convoluted. Some Striders, the kind of more like a tier 1.5 unit from the Legion, but ooh, mosquitoes with stockpiling rockets will snipe some of these off. Very limited anti-air. The beamers are mediocre against air. Most of the rest of this has no capability at all. The commanders will knock down a couple, but these Legion gunships, more like ornithopters, making their way by and will push away the front line for now. Literally writing anti-air on the map. Meanwhile, Kindling pushing through with some of his rocket bots. The artillery holding the high ground as slowly but surely red claims the eastern front. Meanwhile, the battle between Teriyaki and Zombie continues. Both sides with the lines drawn, rocket bots in the front. Yellow has not made a whole lot of progress to the south, but slowly and surely. Oh, there is some artillery though. The cluster artillery from the Legion. Quite effective, especially against these tier 1 groups. Another key point, it only costs 850 metal compared to the Cortex and Armada artillery, which I believe are 1100 and 1200, something like that. Significantly higher. I don't think it has quite the damage, but it can hit a greater spread of units. Is this the same dude? You know, I've seen this Centurion more than I've seen any commander on the map making an impact so far. This is the real commander, right up until the commander broke before the Centurion the Centurion did. What a disaster. And that breaks that push for now. Meanwhile, the center still a bit convoluted, though seems to be mostly quiet. The eastern flank, artillery exchanges, but not again. Fierro taking a lot of damage, has to be very careful. The commander exploding can completely screw your defensive lines. But of course, that works both ways. Priori moving forward. Gonna try to degun the lab, does so, knocks it out. And there's precious little back here to defend. If they move forward, they might be able to just take this entire area before the Sheldons come down to try to hold the line. Meanwhile, though, green pushing across the inner northern flank. The rocket's going to be overrun. They'll have a few grunts out in front. Friendly fire, definitely a danger. Meanwhile, I think the analysis of red consistently making progress still holds true. They have pushed forward to the south and claimed most of the contested hill, but as I say, another commander falls. 16 commanders remain for the red team, 48 for the rest of the teams combined. For yellow, 16 commanders. For blue, 15 commanders. And for green, we got 17 commanders. But the western flank is completely breaking, and it looks like... Not sure what hit them out here. I assume a bombing run, but no, this is why you don't put your wind turbines together. A chain reaction. If you have more than 2 turbines together, they explode with enough damage to cause other turbines to explode, which just is a feedback loop that will destroy all the turbines nearby. So a big hit on the back line combined with strong efforts on the front line. Meanwhile, the artillery still exchanging to the north. It is contested, but we go into the crater and see it's relatively quiet considering how many metal extractors are out there. Red, ooh, still trying to break through. Let's make our way back. The western front, we've got some napalm bots now, which stay out of the fire. Friendly fire isn't. Yes, you very much can flame yourself as well. I do that most games I'm playing, but my teammates also cover it, so. Well, an EMP bot moving in for green, but tier 2 is hitting the field. We have Sheldons on the western... Oh no, those are hounds, I'm sorry. The hound breakthrough, starting to chase down the commander. They've been released now. The Belchers. The napalm bots aiming more towards... And the commander itself has to be careful. Starting to burn. The hound's walking right through the fire. Will regret that. Meanwhile, our back and forth continues. We've got some of the Decurions. The strongest tier 1 tank in the game overall. More like a tier 1.5 unit from the Legion. Just melting through. There's not even enough range. They're clearly not on an attack move, but the gunships may be able to deal with them for now. Meanwhile, green has made some progress. On the northern front, the battle continues. Things looking a little cramped as artillery fires from both sides. I think some, yeah, tier 2 rocket bots at the back. Arbiters from the Cortex. As yellow trying to strike back. Tier 2 artillery as well helping out. Oh, I heard a sharpshooter. Yep, we got sharpshooters from the blue team. And the western front, even a tier 2 bot lab attempted. Going to be shut down, though. That's rough. Yeah, it's a lot of metal to be losing. I'm not sure if it... Well, he didn't get very far along it, so at least there's that. Now, more dramatic exchanges in the crater between red and green. Some welders showing up for both sides, as well as rocket spiders. The recluse from Armada, able to maneuver around pretty much the entire map here. Meanwhile, Jaguars trying to sprint forward. Gunships will respond. The commander, though, no, the gunships go down with the commander, and a lot of the Jaguars eat it as well, but losing that alongside all the air is going to open up an opportunity. And I may have to reassess. I think the red team is losing a lot of ground now. They still have the highest metal income, though that might be skewed by current reclaim. Overall, oh wow, I don't know what I expected. In terms of metal produced, the red team is on top. Energy produced, we'll just go by order of team. Oh my. An Excel sheet would be easier here. Meanwhile, I have no idea what's going on with those rockets. Oh. The salvo anti-air missile batteries. Clearly wiping things out of the sky. Looking incredibly cool while doing it. Also very important. Meanwhile, another cacophony. Helping to grind through and chip away at the blue team's advantage in the crater. And still hard to tell. The blue team very much struggling on energy income. They're only at 21,000 compared to 38k of red and green. Yellow's at 30k. That's something that's a lot more consistent than metal income. Metal income can be skewed by reclaiming a whole bunch of wrecks on the field. Obviously helpful, but doesn't give you a great gauge of the more regular metal income. So, we have advanced fusions in the corner, as Tenebus is our macro player now. By himself, accounting for 8,200 out of the 3,200 energy on the team. So clearly powering the team so far. Though not sharing very much, keeping it at max, trying to build up. The Curians are grinding their way through, and the Legion is pushing back the red team back to their side of the map. Their quadrant, rather. And they're losing a lot of ground. That's part of the danger of taking an advantage early in these sorts of matches, like the more than two teams, is part of the reason you may give up some ground is to get tech. And in Beyond All Reason, at some point the metal extractors, which are helpful, are not nearly as important as scaling your fusion reactors and your metal conversion with the advanced energy converters. At some point, metal extractors are pretty much obsolete. They're cheap metal, but they don't have the exponential scaling that you do from the literally unlimited amounts of energy. A nuclear launcher is ready, though. Will it be spotted? Ooh. Where do they fire it? He's targeting the front line. The nuke is activated. Oh, is there any way they have anti-air? I believe they do. But is it ready? It's ready. It should be intercepted. What? It's not being intercepted. It's not being intercepted. Oh no, it's going to land! Oh, it's a disaster! Massive hit, and there goes the front line. Immediately, one of the players wants to resign and is shut down, but not... Oh. What we were seeing was the mobile anti-nuke, which was not quite in range. It does have a stockpile of interceptors, but honestly, with this much on the map, the blue and red teams, neither of them got hit, but I'm sure they were panicking. I'm sure there's anti-nuke in production all over the map now, because that notification, nuclear launch detected, is played to the entire map, no matter if it's coming towards your team or not. Titans are online. Tier 3 is hitting the field. As the more conventional brawls, the blue team has pushed back. We still have massive rocket exchanges. As the battles continue throughout the field. The center still surprisingly quiet, as I think no team really wants to risk getting hit on two sides, or more, 3, simultaneously. Has the nuke recharged? It's the first, I don't think it'll be the last. Incinerators. The Legion and the Eye of Legion. The Bastion heat tower sweeping over the field alongside the incinerators. Starting to purge everything in the way. Currently 6,500 units on the map. Bombing run from the red team, hitting the main economy though of the blue. Many of the bombers getting shut down, but not nearly enough. Some fighters are being scrambled out of the production. A nuke hits the front line. But the bombers will be able to clean up. they don't take out the fusions. The blue team still maintains most of their energy production, though took a big hit. The nuke just broke the front line for yellow. Cool. Things getting more and more dangerous. The icons across the board. I think you're looking at the thumbnail right now. Like and subscribe. Well, the team's still mostly intact. Just gonna go around the horn real quick. Blue team, 14 commanders. Red team, 14 commanders. Green team, 14 commanders. And yellow team has 15 commanders. Thought I was losing it for a second. But besieged inside the crater by long-range artillery, the ticks providing vision, the titans breaking through, razorbacks behind with their battle mech guns, and some vanguards, no, arquebus, the Legion railgun cannon, kind of the equivalent of the Sheldon, not the artillery belcher, but instead the railguns, able to blast it long. In fact, my favorite version of this. And the blue team is under heavy assault from both sides. Though I don't think either team... Let's see what kind of vision they have for a moment. Yeah, no one... They don't know how much progress the yellow team is making. I don't know what the rules are on everyone chat, but it'd be in poor taste to try to keep track of things like that. But the blue team is getting pinched at the moment. Red is holding strongly. Another commander goes down. The Razorbacks are uncontested, just grinding through the economy. Going to be almost impossible to stop them like this. I don't see any units on the way. They're just cutting through everyone on the front line. And even if the back survives, what's going to be left? Oh, what is all this? Huge hits. Was this a nuke? No, bombers coming in. Looking for another round. They're not able to get to the back line, but they may be able to hit the fusions. Some of the fighters going down. Oh, those are the Legion interceptors as well. More swarmy. You know, makes sense with the Legion. Meanwhile, the red team striking all the way to the back line. There's almost nothing in the way. The entire economy is trying to put together a gantry, but that's far too little, and it's likely too late. Building advanced constructors won't save you from this. Red team may just knock out the beating heart of the blue. Off the back of these Razorbacks, down go the fusions. The D-gun hits the Razor and saves them for now. Another Titan is coming in, but the D-guns will continue. Another one. They have a lot of commanders. Still, 14 out of 20. But the fusion, the Titan is targeting. He knows the commander is out there somewhere, trying to avoid the D-gun. The disintegration gun from the commander will one-shot any unit. As he takes out a Titan and a Razorback, he's got an epic grunt to beat the less epic grunts. Well, goblins here, but that may save the day for now. And the blue team will be cauterized by the D-guns of Tenebus. They're down to 45,000 energy, less than 1,000 metal per second, compared to red at 140k. We've got green at 100. Gunships overwhelming the Shivas, which have no anti-air capability. There's a bastion on the high ground. Eventually the gunships will get the damage done. No more progress will be made on this front. But here come the fighters on either side swinging in. It appears the green team has a severe advantage in terms of fighter numbers. At least for now. Though reinforcements are coming. Is that a nuclear? That's a full-on nuke launcher. No, it's not going to complete at this rate. Speaking of which, whatever happened to our nuke launcher from the yellow team? It's still... He's been launching it. It looks like anti-air is pretty ubiquitous across the board, though. Blue is still holding on for dear life, but about half the commanders of red, at least, are focusing on it. But now they've got other issues. The yellow and green teams pushing through the center. Karganeth from yellow and green Oh, another commander down. Razorbacks cutting through. And without tier 3 of their own, it's almost impossible to take these out. Meanwhile, Prigozhin takes out 2 Garganeths with the D-gun, but outflanked. Red is at risk of losing a lot of their defensive perimeter. The green team starting to break through more Razors. Yellow looking pretty good overall as well. But the green team has maintained their economy and they're well spread out. They're starting to really exert themselves more. Still the red team, either the fusions hold or they don't. That's, at this point, each team has their economy concentrated in that back corner. Is that a Starfall? The equivalent of a Ragnarok. Is he actually going to build a Starfall? He only has 1 builder on it now. He actually reclaims it. That was an optimistic idea, but the Starfalls could definitely wipe out huge groups of units. They're the Legion long-range super plasma cannon, like the Ragnarok or the Calamity. Still breaking through atomic bombers. A very direct response. Meanwhile, yellow and blue at an impasse, incinerators on either side. Oh, what is this? The Ticks! Trying to sneak through. Eating some hits from the artillery. Sheldon's at point-blank range, gonna be obliterated by the Liches. The atomic bombers. What was that? A Juggernaut has arrived and will stomp its way down. And clearly, the battle in the air is being fought as well. But the Juggernaut going... Even with atomic bombers, it's going to be hard to take that thing down. Blue team down to 50k energy. As Tenebis was forced to build up defenses instead of economy. We've got Epic Arquebus. The super railguns. Seems like pretty much all units are enabled across the board, so you pretty much have an epic version of all basic units. The amount of atomic bombs. He self-destructs the Juggernaut, which gives it a massive radius of a potential explosion, but if it goes down beforehand, 3, 2, 1, and down it goes. Knock it out pretty much everything within the zip code. A lot of the units take damage, but they're able to weather it for now. Yellow moving forward. Abductors, the EMP transports, stunning things. The gunship's taking out the rest. The anti-air is severely limited. Blue team almost knocked out now. Multiple plasma cannons targeting. Meanwhile, a mini Calamity is firing. To the north side, the incinerators are marching through. Lighting up everything within range. A tremor on the high ground, trying to target it as well. The yellow team starting to carve out even more space. The red team's at 240k energy per second. 4,000 metal per second. Blue is just trying to hold on. Plasma shots getting bounced off the deflector shields. But now yellow and green brawl it in the air. Their bombers behind just looking for cover. Not going to make too much progress. They're just going to have to go for the front line, if anything at all. They will find it. There's some fusions in the mix, but the sheer number of fighters. There's currently 8,300 units on the map. Wait, I'm not sure if that's overall or each team. Pretty sure it's overall because the teams are maxed out. If people leave, does the unit count go up? I think so. Or the unit cap for each player. There's still that nuke launcher. Has he been firing it? It has no stockpile at the moment. So. Oh, wait, another nuke intercepted. There we saw an example. More fighters going to redirect. Looking for a bombing run. Most of the fighters getting knocked out of the sky by anti-air, but there are no fighters to intercept them, which means the bombers may find a destination. There are 2 advanced fusions. Lines them up. Not quite enough. 50%. Not a full commitment. Another run, but the fighters are knocking them out of the sky, so. and advance a whole summoning circle of advanced air constructors here. Just vomiting out production. He's got, wait, is that 146? That is 146 advanced air constructors. Gotta be very careful that there's no splash knocking about, but they can build pretty much anything almost instantly with that much build power. What is the range on these epic railguns? Quite long, but not intercontinental. So red team continues scaling their economy to redonkulous levels, but they are one miscued bomber away from absolute utter disaster. There are tier 3 units trapped by the production. All it would take is one misclick even, and this entire base can go up in flames. We have a starfall on the way to the north side for the green team. What kind of range does that have? I'm trying to look for the range indicator, but the answer might be yes. I'm not sure if it has map range. Not quite, but close. It can hit most of this quadrant and into the next one. Blue really struggling. They're down to 8 commanders, 35 total enemies. Is that? He's building a well, that one certainly is dangerous. I honestly don't know. I can't see a range indicator, so. The range is 6,100. That sounds like a lot. Oh yes, you can see the indicator at the end. I think there's just so many things going on that not all of them are rendering perfectly, believe it or not. And we're over 9,000. Over 9,000 units here. Those railguns firing projectiles so large they wipe out a dozen grunts a hit. Oh my god. I do love some of the Legion units. It's playable in most lobbies if you'd like to try it out. Especially against the Raptors is probably the best way. But I'm seeing more and more lobbies as the units get filled in. The faction isn't fully completed or balanced yet, but it is a unique concept. So now we have the arms, the core, and the legs. Armada, Cortex, and Legion. As Legion is, I think like 2/3 or 3/4 of the way to having all the units or unit equivalents filled in. But a huge bombing run. Trying to knock the blue team out once and for all. They're beset by the red and the yellow. And those bombers, I don't think there's nearly enough anti-air. The run starts. The fusions are hit. The base obliterated. And once again, the back line will be all that's left. But unfortunately, the railguns are marching. And they're finding targets. Oh, another big hit over there. What's happening? Red team pushing forward. It's the economy, stupid. Like, there are plasma shields covering much of the Starfall. Still only 13%. Autopilot trying to find some more money. Green also has a Starfall. More nukes being intercepted. The entire mountain filled with economy for all sides. Just gonna do a once around. I know it gets a little disorienting. I'm trying to get better about camera work. I love doing the big swings, but also it gets hard to keep track of what's going on. Things have cleared out. It's amusing how there's such a, almost a demilitarized zone between the teams because there's so many long-range dangerous things. Starfall. Still a few minutes out. The economy shaky across the board. 442,000 energy now. And multiple nuke launchers coming together for the red team. As streams upon streams of units, we're at 11,000 and counting. As it seems like everyone finding some... I think you have to designate different players to do spam units than you do the ones building like economy, because you just hit the unit limit, which does include buildings. Oh. Again, the blue team. Multiple atomic bombers. Forced to redirect, though. And a juggernaut. Jug. But, ooh, demons looking to respond. Another Cortex mech. The demons being spammed. Effectively glass cannons with flamethrowers. I'm waiting for one of these starfalls to finish. So far, oh, dragons on the front line being engaged by the fighters, though. The dragons and some Epoch flagships in the sky. The fighters coming out flames underneath, and, well, through the fire and the flames, we'll see who's able to carry on. As the dragons just strafing over the field, the demons cleaning up everything else underneath. The anti-air, some flak vehicles getting melted right now. What just hit? Was that a nuke? In the midst of everything, a Praetorian survived it. That starfall in dangerously close position. Some Tyrannus battle cruisers. Titans fighting against demons with a whole lot of railguns behind. The blue team desperately trying to hold on. The railguns marching forward. The flames are mostly petering out to the north. The flagships behind. The yellow team will hold for now. And green took a lot of hits during it. There are deflector shields, and the Tyrannus building up. But what's happening over here? Red making some progress. Green has multiple gantries in range. And behind it, multiple long-range plasma cannons. And behind that, the entire world economy. Autopilot only halfway through the starfall. Those ultimate plasma cannons. Autopilot at point-blank range. D-gun knocks out some of the marauders. And the incursion onto the front line will be shut down yet again. The unit count actually, dipping! As another few hundred units go down. Buildings, bots, titans, but they're breaking through. We see the wreckage from the battle. The Juggernaut's still marching. Thors are here. But the green team putting together a strong, robust response. A nuclear missile at point-blank range is certainly one of the possible responses. It'll curve back around and hit some of the reinforcements and leave the Jug stranded. I think I hear a Ragnarok or a Calamity firing. There might just be a few dozen railguns trying to take down the behemoth. I think they're gonna succeed. The firing squad. Juggernaut's coming down the ramp as well. The blue team has held on all this time. Is it done? Is one of these finally done? The starfall is completed and is raining down. Another nuke. But the starfall is the ultimate artillery. Interstellar artillery. Making it significantly different than the other long-range plasma cannons. But firing at the front line and raining down across. It's not enough to kill Tier 3, but it's enough to kill anything in between. They're trying to move in to engage it. If they can get rid of it, there's another one on the way. Another volley about to be lined up. The vanguards are moving forward. The vanguards are pummeling the shields. Will they hold? The railguns moving forward. This is the main battle that would likely decide things. If the starfall, it's chewing through. The second one, they've given up on it. This is important. There's a ping out there. There's less than half the commanders left in the game. Another starfall. Just raining down and melting. Most of the vanguards are taken out. But they need some more conventional units. Is that? What is firing? There's a calamity up here. Just firing into the plasma shields. Some epic Tyrannus overhead. You gotta be careful. Oh no! The starfall take it out. The red team economy still hard to beat. They almost have more, well, they don't have more than the rest of the map combined, but it's getting there. 600k. The railguns are very slowly yet very surely marching through. A counter starfall about to complete for the red team. God, it's hitting so hard. It's beautiful destruction. aiming deep to the back line now. And plasma shields don't cover everything. And the deflectors will bounce it into more vulnerable areas. It looks like most of the fusions are covered, but they better be damn sure. The nuke's launched! Are there enough interceptors? He's firing so many! It only takes one, and that's a hit! A massive reaction throughout the entire base! They overwhelm the anti-nuke, and the green team has been wiped out! The energy plummets to 200k. It's not nearly enough. It takes, I believe, 8 nuke launchers on the same location to overwhelm one fully stocked anti-nuke interceptor. And they brought enough, and they've got another round ready, looking to wipe out another target. Are there interceptors? No, they just wiped it out. Now they're targeting. Now they're just double tapping. The center, they lost the Starfalls as well. Direct hit, a counter nuke comes in. They're hitting the yellow team, while the red team obliterates them down the center. Will that nuke land? I think it got hit by an interceptor. And wait, who's left to stop red? This is the point when, if the other teams don't combine their efforts, but how can they know? Epic Tyran has been taken down as like a mini nuke itself, which is very dangerous to your team as well. Starfalls down the center. There's just so much. The Starfalls hitting the back line. Bouncing off for now, but every hit drains the shield some more. And at some point, they won't have energy for anything else. There is a second Starfall, and they're just testing the strength of those shields. You see the energy draining as they bounce off the map. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Something actually hit there, but the bombers lining up a run. The fighters are intercepting. There's a massive bomber as well. I believe just the epic version of this. Oh no. They're close enough. And something hit! The bombers themselves may crash into the fusions. And oh, enough of it stressed the shields that the Starfalls managed to take out the rest, and the blue team is dead in the water. 15k energy. That's effectively nothing, and now red does have more energy than the rest of the map combined. The bombing runs a entire battle line of Titans. Unfortunately, I believe this match was played before the new Legion Juggernaut, the Soul Invictus, was finalized for the game. It'd be awesome to see some more of them pushing through. Though definitely you can see some videos with that. It looks amazing. But the green team looking to resign. Red team still has 9 commanders. The Starfall is still raining down on blue. The only question is whether yellow can somehow find the cross-map attack to make the difference. The Starfall's raining down plasma cannons. The Titans are holding. A lot of them, they ate the nuke and survived it. Green team is pretty much wiped off the map. The bombers, these Stormbringers, knocking out the tiny attempts. Oh, is that another volley? Yes. Another nuke volley fired off. The interceptor's up to match it. It will be enough, but a Pyrrhic victory at best. Starfall shelling the corpses of the blue team. Are they actually out of commanders? There's one who has left the game. The Titans getting dangerously close to the nuclear silos. Praetorians and epic goblins moving, but oh no, the fusions are in range. And that may be the end. They're able to get some shots off, and there it goes! The entire neighborhood. Well, a few holdouts. Somehow not all the fusions ate it. Got very close to a total annihilation. But still, an unreasonable amount of damage. The epic Stormbringers will be brought down, but able to unleash most of their payloads. The nukes! Oh, ain't no kill like overkill. And I think we can say with confidence the red team has achieved victory in the crater, and they will preside over the wreckage. It's all crashing down. 5 commanders left to 11. I guess the green team is still technically here. The blue team has been eliminated. Nukes intercepted. Still 134. They're still praying for some sort of miracle. Some sort of special agent behind enemy lines take out or self-destruct one of those fusions. But even at this point, I don't think there's any recovering economically. Honestly, though the red team had the advantage for such a significant amount of time economically, I think there was still a dream, especially with the Starfalls down the center. Huge commitment, but almost broke. Here we go. Another round. Where are you targeting? Ah, this guy. Gonna have a bad day. Direct hit. Wipes it out. Fighters cleaning up the rest. They're gonna make him take out the trash here, but Starfalls across the board. Well, hopefully you enjoyed. At this time, I ask you again to like and subscribe. Let me know what sort of matches. We still got a bunch of the 40v40s. I know 1v1s are popular. 8v8, the most popular mode. This was a special occasion where they made special servers for 40v40. I know a lot of the players did struggle to run it as well. That's why it's not a regular thing. Honestly, it's not that the game can't support it. It's that, well, anyone without a supercomputer or esports money recently got the 9800X 3D processor, and this is the result. By that I mean still 60 FPS throughout pretty much the entire game. No matter how much madness. Though at this stage, there's not that much left to keep track of. Only 4,000 units. I think we reached a peak of around 11 or 12. So still not redonkulous, but 5 digits is insane. The nukes landing. They still have a whole firing line of plant. They can't fire off the Calamity enough because they're out of energy. And there it is. Resign from the yellow team. The red team wins. With the lowest level top player, Trilos, with only rank 37. Still. Oh, and they hit the self-destruct, which chains its way through most of the base. Appreciate it. We still got the drama at the end. GG. What a match. I have no idea. Oh, the bombers are just bombing their own bases. That's what's happening here. Well, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully this made your day a little bit better. Got the means of motivation. Be also check out Patreon or YouTube membership. But I hear liking and subscribing is still free, at least for now. So, hope I made your day a little bit better. I'll see you next time. I'll see you soon. Good luck. Have fun. Thank you for watching. Stay unreasonable.